Never mind, I got it.
There we go.
All right.
Perhaps you have volunteered to be an officer a few times in your club, and now you're wondering, what's next? I'm looking for a new challenge. Then you need to look towards district level service. Here to clue you in on roles you probably didn't even know existed, please welcome our immediate past district director, Beth Ramsay. Woohoo!
And the crowd goes wild. Yay! Okay, very good, very good. Thank you, Steve. If you would post the handout again, I would appreciate that. I appreciate the props there, everybody. All right, I just want to share with you really quick how I got into Toastmasters. I have actually been a professional speaker and trainer for about 20 years. And I will share with you that back in, I don't even want to say the year because some of y'all were not even this old. Back in 1991, I was a chair of a committee in an organization, and I had to give a committee report to the general membership, which was about 160 people. I was so scared about what I was doing that my knees were just shaking like this. And I had to wear a skirt long enough to cover, and I wouldn't wear pants because you could see my knees in pants. So I wore a skirt that went down past my knees. And then after I started doing this a little bit, I felt a little better. And then I became different officers as the years went on. And then I ultimately, 10 years in, was the president of this organization. I had to talk to the media. I was on TV. I did all sorts of things. And then other organizations would ask me, Beth, can you come talk to our group? Can you come talk to our group? And that's kind of how that started rolling. And then I got the magic question. The magic question is, oh, I need you to come talk to our leadership retreat. How much do you charge? And that's, if you've ever had a Scooby-Doo, yeah, there you go, Chip. If you've ever had a Scooby-Doo moment, you go, you mean I can get paid doing this? And that's how it got started. I started charging for what I was doing, and then within a very short amount of time, I qualified for professional level member and as a member in the National Speakers Association. Well, then I'm running around with professional people. Yes, I have a picture of me and Brian Tracy. Yes, and that's my claim to fame. And I would hear occasionally Toastmasters mentioned, and I didn't think anything of it. And about the third or fourth time I heard Toastmasters, I stopped my friend Sandy, who's the one who actually said it. And I said, Sandy, wait a minute, wait, go back. You are a professional speaker. Isn't Toastmasters for people who are just starting? And she said, well, yeah. I said, why are you in Toastmasters? Because I'd heard this like 3-4 times from people. And she said, oh, I'll tell you why. First of all, I like the people. And second of all, I try out new material and get really good feedback. And I went, it was another Scooby-Doo, right? I went, and because otherwise the only time that we would try material out is on the flipping audience, and that's when you get your feedback, but this was interesting. So I did go and visited a club, and it was a little too formal for me, but I visited a second club and I knew I was home. That's how it started back April 2011. And then, like what probably happened to some of you is you join March, April, May, and come July 1st, you're president of the club. Yes, it happened to me too. So that happens on occasion. But I will share with you, and I've always thought this, that if leadership were easy, everybody would be doing it. Now that's tweetable, spell my name right. Okay. But it's the love of the leadership, and it's the love of the people that I've come across truly in Toastmasters, which actually about 3 years ago, I let go of my National Speakers Association membership, which is expensive. I mean, to go to an NSA convention, I mean, you're talking several $1,000s. So it's, I just had more fun over here in Toastmasters world. So what would happen is I would start looking at the other opportunities for leadership in Toastmasters. A couple of years after I was president, I was asked if I would become an area governor, area director is what they're called now. And I did that. I had really no clue what I was doing, but I kind of got into it, and there's training, there's support, all sorts of really interesting things. And then I thought I was going to end there. But then about halfway through the year, I went, I'm interested in the division director because that's like the next step up. And I thought, whoa. And I ran for that and served in that capacity. And then the next year, I was the chair of the spring conference. If you were in Toastmasters and happened to go to the Celebrating 1945, we had a World War II theme. Then Marjane was there. Then I was chair of that one. And then the next year, I missed being on the district level executive committee, which I'll share with you in just a second what that means. That the following year, I begged to get back on the deck, which is what we call that, and I served in the parliamentarian role so I could be at deck and be at the meeting. So that's how I went. And then from there, club growth director, program quality director, and then this past year, I just finished up as district director, and then here I am. And let me share with you what I am doing now. I am supposed to be the wise owl sage for the current trio. And that's in case they ever need anything, I am supposed to share pearls of wisdom. And then I am also serving this year as the district leadership committee chair, who is charged with, that committee is charged with seeking out leaders for next year. And I'm going to give you the list. Does everybody have the handout? Steve, do it one more time. I think we had a couple people who joined, and I want to make sure they have the handout. And that's kind of how that went. And I do want to, before I get going here, introduce Steve Vaughn, who is serving as my moderator. And he will be monitoring the chat box. And when you have questions, then he is going to, he's going to share those with me. And Steve, I'm going to ask you that if there's a burning question, just go ahead and shout it out so nobody think he's being rude. I am instructing that he does that because I don't want to leave anybody behind.
Can do.
All right, here we go. I want to share a screen with you. If I do it right, Toastmaster skills. I want y'all to know that before all this COVID stuff, I had no clue on how to do Zoom. So this is part of the learning, right? All right, can everybody see this? It should say District 84 leadership roles. Okay, Denise is giving me a thumbs up. I want to make sure that I'm sharing the correct screen because once I share it, kind of what you see disappears, and I want to make sure I'm on the correct thing. All right. These will be roles that are available for this coming next year. The Toastmaster fiscal year runs July 1 through June 30th. Because we are obviously we just started our second month in the current year, all these positions are already placed. So if there is something that sparks your interest, I'm going to share with you who you need to be talking to in the next 3 or 4 months to talk about possibility serving in that capacity for the following year. And timing is everything, right? Timing is everything. Here we go. Everything that is listed in red is elected. Anything that's listed in black is appointed, and it's appointed by members of the trio. And that's where I'm saying you have to, I will share with you who you need to be talking to and when. All right. District director and the program quality director and the club growth director. Those three are the top officials, the top officers in the whole district. And if you've ever heard the term trio, this is who they're talking about, the top 3 officers in the district, which is a lot shorter than saying the whole title, right? All right, and if you add The public relations manager, that's like the fourth top officer in the district, and that is sometimes referred to as the quattro. You don't hear that very often, but if you do, I just want you to know who we're talking about, okay? Excuse me. All right, so I'm going to go down just a little bit more. And I want you to see that the division directors are also in red. So those are elected. And I want to show you, we currently have 9 divisions. And in case you have not taken a gander over to our wonderful district website, toastmastersd84.org, everything you ever needed to know is right here or has links to it. I find that this is much easier to navigate than toastmasters.org, but that's just my personal opinion. If you go pop over here to clubs, and then you see division and area, for those who do not understand or have never seen our district in statewide, I want to show you this map. Okay, this is the state of Florida. I'm sure that you recognize it. And each one of those colors represents a different division, okay? And there's 9 of those. And you can see that up here is Tallahassee. Marjane is hanging out up there. How's Tallahassee doing there, Marjane? She's holding that down. Ron is holding down B right there. Steve is in G. And yeah, so that's how that bad boy goes. But this is just showing the different divisions. And if we were to go, let me just, for example, do this one. Division D. Now, Division D is part of Orlando. It's going to be the more eastern side of the Orlando area. And right now, Bob Fisher is the Division D director. And I wanted to show you the areas. Areas are just a nice way to put 4 or 5 clubs in there for management. And I'll explain the difference between areas and division directors in just a second, but I just want you to get structure right now. So to be able to make it manageable for Bob and for the district, for the trio, we break it down to manageable pieces. If you have been a club officer before and you've ever had your area director come for a visit, well, that's who these people are. So for instance, if I look at area 40, we have Jessica is in charge of the 4 clubs that are listed there. So if you're not ever sure of who your area director is, you can just pop over here and look for your club and you can see who it is. And you can also get their email address, their contact information. This is very helpful. But this is just a way to help and support and manage the district. Okay, do I have any questions about this? You see any, Steve?
Nothing in the chat.
Nothing, we're good? Okay, all right. You will see right here, area directors, there are typically 44 to 49 of them, depending on how many clubs we have. Last year we had 49. This year we're starting with 44. And you do want to grow more clubs and you want to be able to, have people manage them. So let me go back up here. Now, that's my dog, sorry. All right, district director, program quality director, and club growth director. Your trio are the ones who are in charge of everything at the top of the district. What you have written here is the details and information. The club growth director tends to be in charge of just that, club growth. Chartering new clubs, helping clubs stay healthy, anything to do with membership payments. If you've ever had, club coaches, club ambassadors, anything that has to do with making sure that clubs are healthy and happy and doing well. That's what she's in charge of. And right now that is Paula Suma. The program quality director This actually was my favorite one out of all three of the years because I'm a trainer and I loved the training part. And program quality director is in charge of just that, program quality. Anything to do with TLIs, conferences, education sessions, anything to do with our distinguished club program points and making sure that all of the club officers are well versed on what the DCP program is, trying to, Golden Gavel, all those kind of things, that falls under Debbie Jo Londano this year. The district director, basically, after working super hard for 2 years, gets kind of to sit back and enjoy his or her year, and the fact that they are in charge of making sure that everyone adheres to the Toastmasters International calendar, all the deadlines, and make sure that everybody's moving forward the way they're supposed to be doing. They are all, the district director is also our chief financial officer in conjunction with the finance manager, but everything's the whole buck, everything stops at the district director's desk. So that's PIM per part this year. And so that's your trio. Now, who we have as public relations is Fred Bergeron. And last year was Bob Fisher, if you enjoyed all his crazy videos and things. And let's see, and public relations manager actually has a committee. And on the committee, I have them listed here, that will be the newsletter editor, podcast chair, let's see, what else? Social media chair, which is Kelly Moore this year. There's all sorts of parts that help that committee. And if you were interested in doing anything like that, then I would suggest to you that you reach out to the people who are in those positions now. Let's just say that you're really creative and you love putting together newsletters. Well, Andy Paul is this year's newsletter editor, and I would be reaching out to him and going, so Andy, tell me about the newsletter and what is it that you're doing and what are you getting out of it, and what suggestions do you have for somebody who wants to do it for next year? I mean, that's an idea there. All right, district administration manager, that's Mar-Jane Taylor, who happens to be in our session right now. And this is an important position because she doesn't necessarily, Mar-Jane's not in charge of a committee, but she's in charge of making sure that the history, the minutes, everything that is happening on the district level at that district executive committee meeting, at the DEC, that makes sure that she is keeping all of the minutes. And there have been many times where we have had to go back as a governing body and refer back to minutes 6 months ago. So it's very important that we have a district administration manager. Now, I do want to share with you this. I gave you this information. Do you see that, for instance, right here, I wrote in every single one of these what gives you credit towards a distinguished Toastmaster achievement, so that you know which ones do and which ones don't. If it doesn't say that, then it doesn't. So all, like for instance here, Mar-Jane, she's going to be getting credit for that. Public relations manager, finance manager, all of these are in black, so they are appointed. Okay, these are appointed positions. Let's see, there we go, that's credit. Now, logistics manager, this is another really important job. The district logistics manager is the sergeant at arms for the district. They are the ones who keep up with all of our equipment, and our equipment gets trotted out actually for our May conference. And we'll have a little bit, I think, for our Vegas stay, not the whole kit and caboodle, I don't think, but in May, the conference, the district logistics manager has a team of people who help him or her grab everything and take it to the venue, so that we have, if you've ever been to the hospitality suite, one of the important things is the booze. That's all I'm saying, okay? All right, so the logistics manager will start off, if you notice, Francisco Campos started us off today as the SAA for the district. He started us off with opening the meeting and will be leading the pledge, that kind of thing. And that is appointed as well. Area directors are appointed. Now let me share with you, let me tell you the difference between an area director and a division director. An area director is the person who is the face of the trio and the district at the club level. You are asked to visit your clubs 2, 3, 4 times a year just to check in, let them see you. If they have any questions, then you are the source of information. If you don't know it, then you need to find it for them and then get back with them. You are also the one to keep the officer team informed of any kind of deadlines that are coming up, any kind of trainings they may be interested in. And that's just, it's like you're a support person. You want to hold their hand. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean, seriously, it's like you are a support person and you help them. You're just like the good missionary for them. Good tidings. And that's what an area director does. Now, a division director is a totally different skill set. This is more where you are managing the people who manage the organization, meaning you are overseeing the area directors. And a division director will have anywhere usually between 3 and 6 area directors. Now, you're not required to go visit clubs. You can visit them, obviously, if you want. I think it's cool when division directors come out. It's like, whoa, that's really, we got like a dignitary here. It's wonderful. But your job is to handhold and be the support system for your area directors who are the support system for the club. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions on that? Steve, you see anything? All right. So division is more supervisory managerial, and area is more of the good friend, big sister, you know, that kind of situation. And I've always asked people who have done both, which one do you like better? And I get a nice mix. It just kind of depends on what you like better. Some people really like the coaching and they like the, you know, being right in there at ground level. And then some like to be in more the managerial, rah, 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 you can do this kind of from a higher level. Now, either one is great. Now, my suggestion is that you are an area director before you move into running for election for a division director. Why do I say that? Somebody unmute yourself and tell me why I say that. Anybody? Why do I say that?
So they can move up in Toastmasters district or deck.
That's one. What's another one?
It's like you always want an area director to have been a club president or VPE or both, because you have the experience at the role that you're helping to lead now and you're helping to mentor.
Yes, those are both excellent. Why do I suggest that you are an area director before you run for division director? Okay, I'll answer.
Otherwise, you're going to be lost. You need the experience.
There it is. There it is. How in the world can you lead in that position never having been an area director? Sure. Would you be better and better at serving your area directors if you've done it before? Yeah. So that's why I say that, because it'll make your life as a division director buku easier, because you'll get the challenges at the area level, what they experience, or you have already done it and you fixed it, or you've already seen it happen, or what have you. That's you're just better in the supervisory position that way. So that's why I said that. All right, if you want to be district parliamentarian, I loved that, but you better like Robert's rules, and you need to know you don't have to go way far into what are all of the privileged motions in order. You don't have to go that far, but you do need to know how to run amendments to amendments, what some of the common things are, like point of order, call the question, things of that nature. You need, I call for a division. You need to know what these things mean. Your job as district parliamentarian is the CYA of the district director. because it is scary standing up there in front of 400 people running votes and people saying this and these people are mad over here and these things, and you might miss something, or you might misspeak on a vote, or you might forget a piece. That's what the parliamentarian is there for, to kind of tug on the, the skirt of your district director and just say, da 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 da, and then everybody's good, because you want everything to be good and done well on that level. All right, district webmaster is just that. We have Jim Miller, and my understanding is Jim is retiring after this year, so our beautiful website for years has been Jim Miller, but we will be looking for a webmaster, I believe. And all of these next ones here, chair positions, I did put them in alphabetical order. None of these get credit towards distinguished Toastmaster, but here's the thing. What you do get is a lot of training and running those little pieces of the world of the district. You get to see things on a district level. You get to stretch your skill set in a concentrated, specific spot. And I have my eye on the next couple of years of what I want to do. All right, here we go. Audit chair, that's usually the finance people from this past year, and they handle that, but we do look for members of the audit committee. It happens twice a year, and that just is kind of a check and balance to make sure that Beth didn't abscond with thousands of dollars last year. Pim's not going to abscond with it this year. We have these audits and checks and balances, and it's very well controlled. The club ambassador chair is just that, the ambassador program. Hopefully you have done that. You've gone to other clubs and you visited and you're going with the ambassador program. That person keeps up with it. Who is doing what? The club assist chair is actually a new thing this year. Paula and the team had put this together, and this is helping clubs in case they have a need for a club coach. A club coach, by the way, can be requested from a club, but it has to be requested from the club. You don't get a coach hoisted on you without your consent. If you are at 12 members or fewer, and officers, please don't let it get to that level. If you've had 30 members and then you had 22, that's where I would be looking. And if you had 22 and now you only have 16, that's where I would be looking. Don't let it go to 12 or fewer, because that is a heavy lift to come back from that. But that's what the club assist chair this year is helping in case there isn't a club coach. And then here we go, club coach chair is finding and monitoring and helping and supporting the coaches that are out there for clubs. This next one, if you like sales, a little bit at sales, this is kind of a good one, and you're organized and you don't mind a little bit of paperwork. The club extension chair, I put AKA new clubs in there because extension is actually a Toastmasters International. That's a headquarters term. And it took me forever to remember what extension means, but it's actually finding and helping new clubs charter and make sure that their paperwork is in order before it gets sent to HQ. So that's what that does. The club mentor sponsor chair is just that. You keep up with those. Conference chair. Okay, if you love event planning, oh my goodness, you want to be on the conference committee or you want to chair the conference. And this year it's already, I will guarantee you, Debbie Jo has got her chair already in line and done, because why? We have the May conference coming up in just a few months. I believe that she probably had that person 3, 4, 5 months ago, because there's a lot of planning that goes in. I loved it. If you love event planning, this is a committee for you. If you are interested in this is timing. You need to be talking to Paula Suma. Okay, let me go back up here. Paula Suma is our current club growth director. And every year, these three are in red. They are elected. What is assumed, because we have to conduct business on the district level, is that Paula has to apply for program quality director for next year, and anybody else who wants to be program quality director, you apply to the district leadership committee. You have an interview. All interviews for anything in red will be in March, next March. And then as the election is in May. But think about this, all the workings that we have at the district level, we can't wait until the end of May to reach out and find our chairs and find our people. We have to be working on these things now in great succession. And I will share with you, having been 3 years in a row at the international level for trio training, as well as the international convention, our district has got it so together compared to many, I will say, that there are so many districts who don't have a strong succession plan. They don't think ahead. I've been to trio trainings in August where they haven't even started on their budget. The budget should be done by the time you get to the trio training in August. It's amazing. So this is part of what I'm trying to say is, if you are interested in sharing or being on the conference committee, you need to be talking to Paula Suma now. And you're probably saying, well, Beth, Paula is only Club Growth. You said Program Quality is the one who does the conference. Yes, timing. Paula will be thinking about next year, assuming she's elected, but she has to make plans anyway. Let's just say if for some reason, Jesse runs and wins and Paula doesn't. Well, Paula will be giving Jesse all the work that she's done so far so that we can still continue going forward without a little hitch. So that's why I'm saying, if you are chair, or if you are interested in event planning and conference, talk to Paula Suma now for next year. Shh, stop. Sorry, I've got a bunch of dogs up here. All right, let's go down here, go down here, go down here. Where was I? Okay, there we go. All right, conference treasurer, that's kind of an iffy thing. I'm sorry, I see that there is a bone that's between two dogs. If I suddenly jump out of my chair, we had a problem. Let's see, corporate
You're
chair.
experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand
Yes,
by.
yes, please stand by. There's about to be carnage underneath my feet. The corporate club chair, we haven't placed that for a couple of years, but I wanted to make sure to maintain that on the list should the incoming district director want to place that with someone. Credentials chair and the proxy chair, actually Ron Papart is holding that position this year. That's the person who makes sure that when it comes time to vote for anything on the district level, as well as the international level, which is going on right now, then that your club is in good standing, that you have paid your dues, that you are in good standing. If you are a president or a vice president of education, you hold the 2 votes for your club. If you were either one of those this past year, you probably got emails from the district saying, please get your credentials together. Please make sure that you sign in. That's going to be Ron's deal this year. He's going to have to be the one to chase people down.
Thanks, Beth, but it's Dennis.
Oh, it's Dennis. I'm sorry. I thought it was you, Ron. Oh, it's Dennis Wooldridge. I apologize. Ron's like, no, I'm not doing that this year. But Dennis will be asking you to do that. And it's very important because we have to have quorum, just like anybody else, you have to have quorum. And it's important to do that, to be able to conduct district business. So for instance, in May at the spring conference, in our business meeting, which is usually a Saturday afternoon, that's where we vote on realignment of our clubs. That's where we vote on the new officers, everything in red. You'll be voting on those for next year. That's very important to do that. All right. The district leadership chair, that's what I am doing this year. It is usually the immediate past district director, but doesn't have to be. This past year, Mike McLean was the immediate past, but I wanted his strategy skills as the realignment chair. And so that's what he did this past year instead of this. Education chair, I will share with you, this is one that's on my radar. I want it, again, it's training related. I love anything training. Education chair is what Sandy DePrimo has been doing this year and what Barbara Amato did last year. And that is the person who gathers, puts the call out, and then gathers all of the people who are presenting, like right now, at all the TLIs, and will be presenters at the Las Vegas Day, at the spring conference. You know, that person is the one. Also, when we meet in person, remember back to our TLIs in person, that person, the education chair and her committee, are the ones who make sure that all of the session rooms have a projector and they have their screen, they have everything that the presenters need. That would be kind of fun. I would like to do that someday. Let's see, membership chair, Moments of Truth chair is just that. Renewals retention is just that. I think Deb Wild is doing that this year. So if for some reason you get a call from Deb Wild, that means somebody in your club has not renewed yet, and she's on top of it. She did it about 3 years ago, and she's good at it. That's why she's doing it again. Social media chair, again, on the public relations team right there. Same thing with Speakers Bureau. There's the newsletter editor, and then the youth leadership chair. I actually had no idea until this past couple of years serving at the Trio how often we get requested for people to come and do a training on leadership for the youth. You know, you have to be 18 to be able to be in a Toastmasters club. I was amazed. There have been nice calls for that. And so if you're interested in helping youth and getting leadership out to other organizations and things for the young kids, this is a good place for you to be. All right. Who's got questions? Who's got questions? Public relations, admin, finance, logistics are all, and area directors are all appointed by the incoming district director. If we assume that Debbie Jo Lindano applies for, is accepted, and runs for as a candidate for district director next year, she will be looking for those. My suggestion is, if you are interested in area director next year or any of these, you start talking to Debbie Jo Lindano, about November, December, no later than January. And I will share with you, this last year as district director, I started interviewing for area directors in February. Now, I had no idea if I would win, if I would win election or not. I didn't know, but we still had to do district business. I still had to find 49 people to serve in that capacity. I did have in July, this past, like a year ago, July, after the year had already started, I had someone ask me to serve in area director, and it's like, that ship sailed. We were already moving and we were in the year. That's why timing is important. If you are interested in, Steve, look and see if there's any questions. I hope so. District parliamentarian, that's incoming district director. Same thing with webmaster.
No questions yet.
No questions yet? Am I being that thorough? Okay, ambassador, anything to do with, remember, club growth director, anything that has to do with ambassadors and let's see, a mentor, sponsor, anything like that will be whoever the incoming club growth director is. We don't know who that is yet, do we? So here's how I suggest that you do this. If anything kind of floats your boat, club extension chair, the one that likes to help charter clubs, that would be helpful. Let's just give an example. Let me give an example of this past year. We had 2 people run for club growth director, right? We had Gail Hill-Smith and we had Paula Suma. Well, we had no idea who was running until the candidates were all announced this past March. Remember a little while ago, I said the district leadership committee interviews anybody who's running for anything in red in March. The committee then votes on who they are going to put forward for all of these positions in red. Gail and Paula were put forward as club growth director. The minute those names are announced in March, of this coming year, this coming March, the minute you hear who they are, and you'll see it on the Toastmaster website, our district website, you will see it on the Facebook page, you will see it everywhere. I would get on the phone and call whoever the candidates are. Let's say we have 4 candidates, and I really want to be the extension chair. I am calling every single one of those 4 and say, I'm really interested in being on this team. I'm really interested to be the extension chair. If you win, I would love to do that. Let's talk. I would do that. Strongly suggest. All right. Any questions? Am I that
Yes.
thorough?
We have a question on
Yay!
the ambassador program.
Yes.
And Denise asked, where can I get information on the ambassador program?
Ah, good question, Denise. Let us go.
I was just
Let
going
us
on the D84 website.
turn our attention right here. Now, I have got to learn where
it
everything
is.
is in here.
I can't find it. I know
Yeah,
it's in
really.
here.
Let me go home first.
Go
All
home.
right, leadership, is it there? Handbook, new clubs, daily, hold on. It's all, everything is in here that you need. Ron, if you know where it is, shout it out.
Under our clubs,
Our clubs.
then go to Club Assist.
Oh, Club Assist.
Oh, Club
Okay.
that's a
Club
new
Assist.
term. I'm not used to
Yeah,
that.
it is new this year, and
Yeah.
it's a good gathering place. If you scroll down,
Very
you'll
good.
get to Club Ambassador.
program.
Okay, so who
Okay.
asked this, Steve?
Or you see ambassadors right under Club Assist.
Yes.
There.
Who
That
asked
was Denise.
Denise, here you go. All right, Club Assist. Oh, I just learned something. Thank you, Denise. And then ambassadors, you flip on that, and there it is. It shows exactly who is serving in that capacity, what the form, you get the form right there, gives the ideas. I think this is lovely. I love this ambassador. Bob Fisher always called it district-sponsored spies, where you go from your club and you go spy on another club and you steal their
blast.
great ideas and you bring them back. All right, what
You
else?
do the same thing as a district director, and
Yep.
you go visit your clubs, or an area director, you go visit your clubs,
Yep.
and you steal all kinds of stuff from
And
them.
you steal all sorts of good stuff.
We
That's
have
right.
one other question. Do we get mentorship on VP role from one of the area/district level leaders? And Mahendran,
Yes, say that again. What?
do we get mentorship on VP role from the area/district level leaders? Now, I would answer that as your president should be giving you some mentorship on it, and so should the former VP, whatever VP you had, should be mentoring you
Absolutely.
as in your new role
Absolutely.
without going to the district level.
That's a great question. Because I have chosen to be the vice president of PR this year, since I've never done it, and I'm not really, I want to hone and polish my skills. I want to learn skills in PR because I want to use it for my business, but I also wanted to do it for the club. This past Monday, last year's PR chair of VP PR, Kristen, is so good. She liked it so much, you guys, that she got her AA last year, but she went back. She's in school now to get her bachelor's in PR and marketing.
I mean, yeah.
From being our club's PR vice president.
And she gave a great, she gave a great speech last week about that. Last 2 weeks.
Did. Oh my gosh. And so she was kind enough to give me an hour and a half on Monday. We did that transition. She gave me all her insights, everything that she learned that she took a long time because, with Facebook, for instance, they change algorithms every day. They change everything. So she took me, we did a screen share. She took me behind the scenes and showed me everything that she learned so that I could get a better start. So that's what, if you're VPM or anything like that, that's where the transition needs to be and the handoff and the succession. We should be looking for our club officers, start talking to people in February, at least, easy, February, and then start having people shadow. I would even have people come to the next round of TLIs who might be interested in an officer position. Go to a TLI and go to the session. It's, it doesn't cost you anything. Go and
So
learn
Beth,
something.
we have 5 minutes remaining, and we have 2 questions.
Yep.
First, 3 questions now. First one is, Beth, what has been your favorite leadership role within D84 so far? That's one question. Ooh, there's now two more.
Okay.
Go
Let
ahead
me
and
answer
answer
that one really quick. I think program quality director.
Mhm.
And then second to that would be division director.
Yeah. Okay. And then next question, can anyone be a club ambassador? That was Chip.
Absolutely. All you've got to do is go onto the
Visit.
Club Assist and get that club ambassador form, and you can zoom all over the place to different clubs and you just rack those bad boys up. But take your form with you. And I know some people that will print out a few and have them with them at every meeting that they go to. I have actually kind of tripped into visiting a club one time and I didn't have the ambassador form with me, and somebody goes, here, and they gave it to me and went, yay. Absolutely. I encourage
Next question, is there any session documents that you are sharing? Do you mind emailing me at any point? Or
let's do the here, I'm going to do the handout. I just did the handout. Here's the handout again.
okay.
Oh, I
So it's
can't
the
do
handout.
it. It's not letting me do it. Steve, would
I'll
you
do
do it again, please? And then
Okay.
stick the survey in
I already
there.
did the survey. There
Oh,
is a
okay.
survey I put in there about 3 minutes ago. So
Oh,
please
excellent.
get on there and give Beth some feedback on her
Absolutely. It's the only way
session.
we get better.
So let
Yep.
me send you or upload.
RJ and I also kind of liked parliamentarian because I like the
Yeah.
I like the thrill. You never know what's coming at you.
Yep. Where's my documents? Uh-oh.
That
some
would
reason
be
I
a thrill
can't
for me.
upload.
That's not my strong point.
Well, you got to be able to, yeah.
Last question. We have, if they can't get good mentoring within their club, then the area director should hook them up with their peer, a VP peer in another club.
Use your area director. Now be kind to them right now because they're just learning like everybody else, but they'll start getting on the roll. They've not had their training yet from the district. Like Pim and her team will be having the training coming up in Ron, like on the 15th, I think it is. So in just a
Yeah,
couple
that's
weeks.
the second half. They had the first half of it already.
Well, that's true. We had a little bit, but
A little bit.
you
They
know,
got
so
the
be
second
kind to
half.
them because if they don't know, their job is to go find it for you.
Mhm.
Okay, so there you go. Now there's the handout. Thank you, Steve.
Yep.
Any last burning question?
Denise asked if we're already visited clubs, can we get credit after filling out the ambassador form?
Sure.
I guess that would depend on the
You'll need to have them sign it
Club.
or take a picture. That's the way I think they're doing it now online, is taking a picture that you're actually there. You can't have an officer sign off if you're doing Zoom.
So Denise, the answer is yes. Depends on the club. You would contact them and ask them if they would do it now. Mhm.
Definitely. All right, I'm going to put links in for
I'm gonna put
your
them in.
next sessions.
I'm putting them in right now.
Oh, you
Stop
put
it.
them in? Okay, you got it. Very good.
Tell
all right.
mom.
Thank you, Ron. Now here's the deal, is Steve is just so good at what he's doing, I don't have to worry about it. You will have links to your next section. I would suggest that you come to a closing session after you're done with this next one. It's just kind of nice to get back together for a moment. And that's where we get feedback on how you like this format. And the last week, it was just fun. We all hung out for about, you know, it's equivalent to after the TLI is over and we're all talking together in the parking lot.
Mhm.
Come back to the parking lot when you're done with your next session. Okay, Lavinia said she didn't get the handout. Lavinia, did you see it just right above? It should say D84 leadership.
Right above
role
the survey.
descriptions.
Mhm.
It's right above the survey. Yeah, the job form is the survey, so be nice. No, be truthful.
Be truthful.
Be truthful.
Always be truthful.
Post toasties. There it is, Chip. That's it. Post
There you go.
toasties in the parking lot. Let's go, baby. I do miss that. After TLIs, a bunch of us would just go to a restaurant and camaraderie and laughter and
Except those that drove 2 hours to get there. And been
well,
there
you
for
get
all
2 hours.
day.
You know, here's the thing. You drive 2 hours to get there. It's going to take you 2 hours to get back. Might as well have some
No
dinner
matter
before
what
you go.
time. That's true. I agree. All right.
Lavinia, okay. Lavinia, real quick, give me your email address and I'll shoot it over to you. Is she
All right.
still-
Other than that, we should be done for the
I don't
day.
want Lavinia to go anywhere. Lavinia, I want you to have this. Give
Oh,
me
there
your
she is.
email address. Ah, there it is. Thank you, my love muffin. All right, I'm shooting this to you. You are certainly welcome.
So if you want to zoom over to your next session,
Zoom
and
away.
make sure
Thank
you
you guys. I
do a survey.
appreciate it. Look for about December, January at the latest. Look for the call for the elected positions. We'll be putting the calls out. There's an application. Look for it. I want to see your names on it.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Miss Beth.
Thank you,
You're the
everybody.
coolest. All right.
Okay, Kathy, gotcha.
Lavina has her hand raised. Okay. Y'all have a great day. This will be the secretary session.
Yep, secretary coming up next.
So if you are doing secretary training, stay right here.
Stay
This is
here.
the place to be.